Hey you guys, welcome back to my Hive Suite. I want to come and talk to y'all real quick about cancel culture. I have a big, massive problem with cancel culture because y'all are doing the most with pushing this. And my issue with it is because y'all seem to have this idea, this ideology of entitlement that everyone must think like you, be at the same place that you are, have the same beliefs as you do, feel the same way that you do, look at life the way that you do. And that's not accurate. It leaves no room for people to be able to have redemption, for people to be free thinkers, have their own personality, their own experiences, have their own beliefs. It leaves no room for people to be able to grow and evolve, to be human and err. People make mistakes or come to different behaviors that they might have displayed over the course of 30, 40, 50 years ago, 10 years ago, because y'all want to cancel people for stuff that they did as a child, as a teenager, as a young adult, or even if it was 5 years ago. No one just stays the same for the most part. People learn and grow, gain new experiences, and they change. But furthermore, everyone has made mistakes. Everyone has done something that they're embarrassed about, ashamed of. You yourself has. And sometimes people do those things for various reasons. Childhood trauma, being hurt, being frustrated, being angry, being drunk or on drugs or high, out of boredom. Like it's trolling. It's a lot of things that people may have done or do or say, especially in the social media age, that really don't reflect how they truly feel, or it might do reflect how they truly feel at that time. And whether that is different from yours or not, whether that is morally right or not, they have the right to be human in error. They have the right to make a mistake. And cancel culture tries to say no one is capable of redemption. No one deserves forgiveness. No one deserves room to grow, mature, and advance. And it says anything that a person do or say has to align with where I'm at right now, where my maturity level is, how I think and believe and feel, has to cater to my fragilities. And that is not right. And that's why I have a problem with cancel culture. Because the other thing is, I'm quite sure that it's a lot of things, like y'all holding people to standards that y'all don't even hold yourselves to or your own loved ones to. I'm quite sure that it's things that your parents, your spouse, your friends, your co-workers, your boss, your job stand for, have done, believe, or said that you don't agree with. Yet you aren't canceling them. Y'all want to rob people of their voice, of their freedom of speech and freedom of choice, for them to have a personal choice to believe, think, and feel how they choose to. Y'all want to rob people of having an income, of having, what would be called, a career and things like that. And I just don't think that that is right, especially when you're not forcing yourself or your loved ones to have those ideas and ideologies. I think that everyone should be mature enough to allow people to be who they are, and give people room to grow and think different. Like, I don't think the same way that I did 5 years ago. And some things that y'all want to stick people to the crucify people for, literally like annihilate them, their existence, their contributions, for, aren't even necessarily things that were a mistake or a bad thing. It's just something that's different from how you think, feel, and believe. And they have the right to be different. And that shouldn't, their beliefs and everything shouldn't be, and your support of them shouldn't be contingent on if they believe the same way that you do. Like, were you really ever a supporter or a fan if them not thinking like you on everything, which is impossible to happen, requires them to be canceled? Like, for example, I love Wendy Williams. I have been watching her show for years. Wendy Williams has said and done a lot of things that I did not like and did not agree with. That has never once stopped me from being a supporter of Wendy and from watching her show. Because you know why? I'm mature enough and I'm selfless enough to let Wendy, be who she is, think and feel the way that she does, have her own life experiences and her perception of the world as she sees them due to that. And I don't like Wendy for the fact that I agree or relate to her on a lot of things, because I do relate to her in some ways and agree with her in some ways. But I like Wendy for who Wendy is, for her personality, for who she shows herself to be when she step on that stage. Not for me to agree with everything that she thinks, feels, or says, because I don't, and I don't expect that from her. So it just be confusing me when y'all have this cancel culture ideology, as in people have to have this hive mind and be like you, and that is just ridiculous and crazy to me. And it's other people who I support, and right, I don't agree with any and everything that they do or say, but that doesn't take away their talent or what they bring to the table. And another thing that y'all need to learn and know is it is impossible to have growth and self-evolution if you are around only areas that are familiar to you, comfortable with you, and that agree with you. Growth comes out of contrast, comes out of being around and being in an environment where you can voice your opinions and that be a safe place, and others who have opposing thoughts and ideologies voice theirs, and y'all can reason and y'all can even agree to disagree, or y'all can reason and y'all both get a new understanding of each other's perspective and point of view. And that's more so my type of personality. I have no problem being around people who don't think or feel the way that I do. I accept them for who they are. And hey, if it's something that I feel is really like major and a hindrance to them, like emotionally or spiritually or something like that, then I just pray for them and hope that sooner or later through their life experiences, their maturity and growth, that they are able to curve that. But guess what? I also have to acknowledge the fact I'm not always right. And just because I think that this might be best for me doesn't make that true. So you have to leave people be with themselves. They're walking and living this life only for themselves through their eyesight perception with their own experiences. And that's different for everyone. So that's why I don't agree with cancel culture. And that's why I feel that it's very rude and entitled of people to be out here pushing cancel culture. People are redeemable. People have the right to think and feel and believe the way that they choose to. People have the right to make mistakes, and people have the right for, if it's a certain type of mistake that requires a consequence, to have that consequence and then be able to move on with their lives after they have faced a consequence for their poor actions or whatever they say. Like, because the other thing, some stuff y'all be wanting to punish people for, like I said, is things that y'all have made mistakes for yourselves, the whole world just don't know about it, or it's things that life is like on a you reap what you sow type of thing. So life is going to come around and fix whatever that error is in them anyway. And if they still choose to ignore it, then they're just going to keep bumping their head against it. I know from my own personal experience, from things that I just wanted to be stubborn about and not get, and life kept making me hit a brick wall until I was willing to submit myself to it and be humble and accept a new idea of, yeah, maybe I was wrong, maybe I thought wrong, maybe I handled this wrong. So sometimes we're trying to play executioner, punisher, judge, and jury, God, and that's not for us to do. We're all in this world together here for the first time, learning as we go and having hiccups and bumps along the way. So that's all I want to say to y'all. I don't agree with cancel culture. To me, it's a bunch of bull crap, and y'all need to get over yourselves, because it really is just a form of entitlement, selfishness, egotistical for a person to think that not only do someone have to think like you, but if they don't, then you get to punish them and even take away their livelihood or their voice or nullify their talents and contributions. And then other thing that I don't think y'all realize is y'all doing that to someone else, then that would mean that you should be nullified then. So when you want to think about treating others how you want to be treated, think about how you would want to be treated if that mistake that you made in 10th grade was broadcasted to the world. What type of treatment would you want? How would you want people to look at it and consider it? Would you want them to nail you to the cross for it? Or would you want them to say, okay, let me try and have some understanding, some mercy, and some compassion here? So I just think that just need to change our mindsets about that. For me to try and null avoid someone else, then I'm doing that to myself. And none of us here as humans have the right to do that to another. Only the Creator. Thank you. Y'all have a good day.